All right. So this is the Action Beats versus Dialogue Tag seminar. We'll just go ahead and go through it, and then we'll answer any questions that you have at the end. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So um, action beats and dialogue tags are two completely different things. So, an action beat is information in the prose that describes actions that the characters are doing between dialogue. And a dialogue tag is how the characters say something as well as who said something. That's basically it. So, we'll get a little bit more into what exactly those are, but those are the definitions of them. So, dialogue is or a dialogue tag is just that. It's for the dialogue, and an action beat is for the action. All right, so action beats are exactly that. They describe actions. So, like, he smiled, she held on to him, they shared a look, I ran to the store, stuff like that. So, it's actual actions that are happening. Um, you can use them pretty much anywhere, but if you're using it in between the dialogue, so it would be the character saying something and then the action of them doing something and then more dialogue if you wanted, or them doing something and then the dialogue, or dialogue and then them doing something. So there are several different ways that you can get that set up. And then dialogue tags are tagging the dialogue. So someone saying, or, you know, the actual things that are being said, he whispered, or she yelled, they cried, I stuttered, just stuff like that. So think of this as um, putting he, she, they, I said at the end of every dialogue, and then just changing the said to how exactly they said it. So, like, whispered, that's completely different than just said. Yelled is also completely different than just said. It's how they said it. And it's also showing who said it. So you can insert the character name rather than the pronoun right there, too. All right. And they can be used together, but an action beat cannot be used as a dialogue tag. So, just for example, exactly what I said. I said smiling. So, I'm tagging the dialogue with how it was said, and then there's that action following it. Or, a character yelling, he yelled, and then clenching his fist. She cried, wiping at her eyes. They laughed, clutching at their sides. So, to put it like this, if you have a character doing something or saying something, excuse me, and then you have the comma and then the action, you can't exactly say clenching his fist. So that's where some of the confusion comes in. So it's how something is said is the dialogue tag. The action beat, you can't actually say something like, I guess for the examples on here, like wiping at eyes. That's not how you say something. That's an action that you're doing, if that makes any sense. All right. So to just remember, like I said, using the synonyms for said to describe the words that are spoken in some way. They emphasize how something was said. And then the action beats are the information that describe the action in the scene between the dialogue. So like you can't smile or hug words. So if something that you can physically do but is impossible to say, like, I mean, you can't say hug, like like you can't say words as a hug, I guess. That doesn't make any sense. Like how do you say that actual physical hug? Um and it's an action beat, not a dialogue tag if it's something that is an action. So let me see. I think I can pull up the whiteboard. No, hold on. Just for another example. Come on. Thank you. Nope. Will it not let me do the whiteboard? Okay. Um, all right. Well, that's pretty much that, but I am going to pull up um an example to use, and I will share that. All right, let's see. New share. Okay. So I think you should be able to see my Word document. So just for an example, so that you can actually see it, because I did realize I didn't actually put actual dialogue in it. So um, oops. Okay, so that would be an example of dialogue tag. So there's the dialogue, mom yelled. That's how she said it. Okay, I'll go wash up. I responded. So that's the tag of that line of dialogue in response to the one before, getting up. So it wouldn't be this. Oops. It wouldn't be that, because you can't get up the dialogue, if that makes sense. So that would be an action beat used as a dialogue tag, and that is not correct. So you would have to use, if you wanted to, you would have to tag it with, oh gosh, give me 1 second. I don't have time to deal with that. Okay. Okay, it would be I responded getting up, or it would just be I stood I stood up, got up, whatever. So if you wanted to use that as an action beat rather than a dialogue tag, it would have to be a period rather than a comma. So just, I don't know. I feel like the point has gotten across. So let's see if I can go back. Let's stop the screen share, or no, there's the chat. Okay. So if anyone has any questions, then I can go ahead and answer those. All right, if we don't have any questions, then I'm going to go ahead and call this seminar as closed. So hopefully this was informative. It helps with identifying what is action and what is a dialogue tag. So again, just a dialogue tag is how something is said and who it's said by, and an action beat is just that it is action. So like actually saying something, yes, that is still an action, but if they're doing something else other than that, so like getting up, or clenching fists, wiping at their eyes, setting something down, then that would be an action beat, and it wouldn't be a comma before the end quote. It would be a period, just because it's not actually tagging the dialogue. If it's tagging the dialogue, it would be a comma and then the end quotes. All right, so we will be doing more seminars that are helpful with the writing journey later on, and I do hope to see you at later seminars. And I hope this was informative, and that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later.